What's up, you guys? Riley here with Learn With Me, and we're back for another video where we just try to talk about like just different things that I'm doing in the garden and how I'm going about maintaining it. So let's get to it. But yeah, as you can see behind me, I have my compost bin that I'm consistently adding stuff to. I haven't properly mixed anything in there, but I'm still adding stuff in here and I'm still just trying to repurpose things. So that's one thing that I'm going to make sure to add like more stuff to it. And one thing that you're going to see that I add to it is a box. Well, not this box, but this bag of like leaves that my neighbor threw out. Of course, going to make sure that none of the plastic and stuff that people commonly throw in these things get in there, but definitely chunking in there that stuff. And I'm going to definitely throw some soil on top of that just to make sure that I'm actually utilizing all of that when it comes to that process. And of course, if you guys have any suggestions, feel free to throw it through or at least say it, because I don't know everything, but I want to keep you guys along for the ride, and I want to let you guys know that I'm like, trying to, improve myself and make the garden better, and just see what you guys have for suggestions, because I appreciate you guys' suggestions, and I appreciate everything that you guys have to present to the channel. So, if you guys have any other things that you want me to look into, I'm probably going to bring up different things in my garden that I want you guys to look into, but just kind of just taking a moment, just talking about the garden, throwing different things in there, and my compost, and just talking about some different things. So yeah, we'll get right to it, and let's move on to the next step. Right here, this is where an old tomato plant was. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that into there. Just throw it on top of here. And like I know what you're thinking, like it probably would be best if I process some of this stuff down, but I'm just gonna right now just try to, you know, I'm not trying to make gardening too difficult for myself. And I don't know when the next time I'm gonna be able to get in the garden is. I'm gonna try to make a point to get into it a few times a week, but it's cold. It's the holidays. I got a lot of stuff going on. So I'm gonna definitely try to get in there as much as I can. But like I said, I'm just kind of using this video to showcase what's going on and just how anybody can really get into their garden. Like, you don't have to be a master gardener right off the bat. You can just be a gardener, and then, some years you can be a master gardener, some years you can. But I don't know if I'll ever be considered a master gardener. But through the help of you guys, I hope that I'm at least get somewhere close to it. So, like I said, like right now, I'm just throwing that in there. I'm gonna take it out of the pot and stuff, but outside of that, we're just trying to just really just get on top of just repurposing things and just organizing the garden. So that's really what I'm doing when it comes to that type of stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna also in this video show you guys my asparagus, show you guys my swamp sunflowers, and on top of that, I'm gonna show you guys like my greenhouse because there's a lot of dead stuff in there that I'm gonna have to repurpose. But on top of that, the swamp sunflowers have died back. The asparagus hasn't died back, but I think I'm gonna cut it back. I think I did it last year, but if you guys have any suggestions in the meantime, I'll make sure to address it by the time I get to the next video. So Bill, Tom, Yeah, or like Muriel, if you're out there and you guys have suggestions about that stuff, I know you guys love to comment on these type of things. Feel free to give me suggestions when it comes to the asparagus stuff like that. But when it comes to like the swamp sunflowers, the like swamp sunflowers, I'm gonna just try to spend time over the next couple of weeks, just kind of cutting it back. I'm not gonna do it all today, but I'm just gonna spend some time cutting it back and adding it to the compost, adding some dirt on top of it. Uh, like I said, I think I'm gonna cut back the asparagus. I think this is like year 2 or 3. I don't know if I'm gonna give it another year before I start actually harvesting it, but and like I said, you guys have any suggestions, feel free to give it to me, for leave it in the comments, and I will do my best to address it. And cause like I need you guys help me get through this stuff, and like even there's a ton of leaves and stuff around me. I'm gonna make a point to even harvest that stuff to kind of help myself out and just kind of do as much as I can for the garden. So feel free to tune in and yeah, let's get to it. So yeah, here's my asparagus. As you guys can see, like stuff's coming up, stuff is still processing. It's honestly held up pretty well throughout this entire process. But like I said, I might cut it back. I can't remember what I did last year. I'll probably look at the old videos because, like I told you guys before, that's part of the reason that I like making these videos, is that it gives me something to look back at what I did last year. But if you guys have any suggestions, you think I should leave it up, let me know. But I'll probably cut it back and see if it comes back in the spring, because right now the purpose of it in the meantime is not necessarily to harvest it, but to really like have this root system develop. But since it's really taken to this free, like the last freeze as well, I really don't know whether or not I should cut it or if I should just leave it as it is. But like I said, I'm gonna look at the old videos because it's still surviving now, so I might as well keep up what I was doing last time. So, but like I said, if you have any suggestions, feel free to let me know. All right, so we're over here with the swamp sunflowers. As you can see, I have my hedge trimmers. So yeah, they've all died back. I've contemplated like harvesting the seeds and kind of doing stuff with them, but maybe that'll just be a mission for next year. But for right now, I'm just gonna throw this all into my compost, and I want it to be a bit neater so that when it comes back in the spring, it doesn't like do too bad. But and it just kind of like doesn't have to worry about growing over it or anything. But yeah, just gonna try to cut some of it back. Not gonna do this all in this video. You might even see me do more in the next video, but just just watching me do some general maintenance. That's another thing. Hopefully by me kind of leaving some of this stuff here, like the birds and stuff will take advantage of it and kind of eat some of the seeds and be able to do it. And maybe they can even go in my compost and do it if while I'm lazily composting. But yeah, that's part of the reason I'm kind of not going too far into this. Is that let's let this is what these type of seasons are made for, is to kind of help wildlife find some extra food and birds to kind of find some that are still around there during this time. So yeah. That's another thing. Reason why I'm like kind of doing it a bit small too, is that I can't process all of this all at once, especially at the rate that I'm doing this. So, like, I'm just gonna it's gonna end up like taking over too much of my compost, putting too much of this stuff in there. So, I'm gonna harvest this amount right here, and then move forward with the rest of it. Hopefully, that gives the birds and stuff on the warm days more stuff to harvest and more stuff to eat. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna, kind of take this back so that I can kind of clean up this area just a bit more this year. And when I get back over here in the spring, there's less like just rubbish, I guess, around here. If you guys have anything debate about it, feel free to debate it. I know you guys will catch me on it. But yeah, I'm gonna do that too. And eventually I'm gonna trim up this pear tree. So if you guys have any suggestions about how to, or any videos to suggest the best way to do that, let me know that. But right now, just when it comes to swamp sunflowers, we got a decent bit right now, so we're gonna go from here. I don't know if this was recording, but I've been essentially like taking stuff out of my greenhouse. Yeah, like right here, a lot of stuff has died in here, but gonna go ahead and take some stuff out and to see where we go from here. So like, this is my variegated oregano. This one seems to have died back, but I'm gonna see if I can, uh, trim it all the way back and maybe bring it inside for the most part. Of course, I'll probably do cleaner cuts once I get it inside, but this is just kind of seeing where the root system and everything is. I'm gonna start from there. Same with this bell pepper, trying to get that going too. But that's not too bad. I mean, the leaves still look green, so I want to say it's still alive. So we're gonna see how that works. But yeah, so far that's just what we're getting with so far. And like I said before, this is just what I'm starting off with. And of course, I've showed you guys that in the last video, but we're trying to just build something up in regard to my compost and just give all my stuff like, a second leg and try to get myself started for the spring season. So, uh, I just love getting out here in the cold. It feels great to me, you guys. Like this, like I was born in this time of year, and so this is awesome. Like this is really awesome for me. So I'll honestly enjoy just being in the garden, in the warmth of summer, the spring, the fall, and especially the winter as well. So um, I'm gonna go ahead and process this stuff and get inside, but comment with some things that you like about gardening in this time of the year or like other times of the year, your favorite time to garden and stuff like that. But otherwise, I'll talk to you guys soon, and you guys continue to stay breezy, comment, engage, share the videos. Really appreciate it. If you guys have any advice, I appreciate your advice 100%. If you guys know anybody that loves to just, ridicule and give people advice about this type of stuff, please, I would 100% appreciate it. So, share the videos, do the most you can, and I'll tune in next time when I show you guys like just what else I'm doing in the garden. You guys can kind of like follow along as I kind of get everything situated because it's a process, you guys, and I can't do this without you guys. So I hope you guys stay warm and stay breezy.